the players. We notice Kevin Durant because he stands out. Amen. We notice certain artists because they stand out amongst the others. And so when something's great, it's not just average, mediocre, but it stands out when you put it and compare it to others. Amen. Greatness is never something just stumbled upon, for there are specific reasons that set one apart from another. The very definition of the word lends itself to that revelation, for you see, great means remarkable. Nothing of a great quality becomes that way without some dedication and work. And so in our text, we find Mary having a conversation with an angel, and it is her response to that conversation that reveals what greatness takes and what it looks like. Won't you walk with me through these nuggets? I want to help us understand today that greatness does not happen by accident. Can you just say it with me? Greatness does not happen by accident. Stop calling people lucky. They're not lucky. They put in hard work, long hours. You see the end result of their dedication, but what you don't see in private is all the practice. Help us understand some of the elements, some, not all, of the elements that cause greatness to occur. 3 things I want to show you from this powerful passage this morning. Number 1, a great promise. Mary had a great promise. Not only that, she had great company, and then she had great faith. And I want you to understand this morning that she has nothing on you because you have all 3 of these elements as well. You have a great promise riding on your life. And if you don't believe you have a great promise, just look at how hard the devil fights you to try and make sure that you never walk it out. There is a great promise. Look at somebody, say, I have a great promise up in here. And what the devil wants to do is to discourage you so that that great promise never makes it out here. Why do people commit suicide? Because at that point they believe that their life is at the greatest it will ever be. And they say, if this is it, I'm checking out now. I no longer want to walk this thing out. If this is the best it's going to be, take me out now. But how many know when you have a promise down on the inside of you, it'll keep you going even when you feel like quitting. It'll keep you going even when you can't see your way. It'll keep you going when everybody's laughing and talking. You know when you have a promise because it will sustain you. Have you ever looked back and wondered how you made it through some of the seasons that you did? It was that promise. You knew what God has spoken to you, and you said, I know it's rough right now, but if I can just hold on, trouble don't last always. Watch this. Proverbs 13:20 says this, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. So in Luke 1:36, the angel says, and behold, behold means look, see, notice, take note, thy cousin Elizabeth, she hath also conceived a son in her old age. And this is the 6th month with her, who was called barren. Somebody say, was called. See, you might even be barren means unproductive, unfruitful, unable to produce. That's what happens before his presence. And so he begins to explain, I want you to understand, watch this, you don't need a crowd to get your promise fulfilled. You don't need a whole bunch of people validating you if God already has. The problem sometimes with greatness is that we try to put what God is doing through us and in us in the hands of people who don't have any vision. And what happens when you do that? What happens when a giraffe tries to tell a turtle about what they see? The turtle say, I don't understand. That don't sound, I don't get that. I can't see it. Why? Well, no, because we're at 2 different levels of observation. What one can see from the 1st floor in a hotel room, the person on the 9th floor sees differently. And some of you keep sharing your 9th floor vision with somebody in the basement. No, they don't get it. No, they don't see it. No, they don't understand. Of course they're trying to talk you out of it because they can't see it. Why everybody laughing at me? Why do they keep on telling me I can't? Because they're looking at they're looking from a different viewpoint. A person in a plane can see a whole lot more than somebody on the ground. There's some places you'll never go unless you get over your fear of flight. So she immediately, watch this, she goes to Elizabeth. Why? Because Elizabeth is pregnant too. When God, and this does not mean, watch this does not mean you have to throw away your friends. It means for a certain season, you may not be able to hang out with the people that you normally hang out with. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with them. It doesn't make them bad people. It just means that what you are carrying at the moment is too precious for everybody to be looking at, touching, and feeling. It's too precious for everybody to have a discussion on. Well, what you think and how you, right now, I can't hear none of y'all because I'm dealing with my own fears and doubts. So I can't handle yours too. Leave me and God alone while we work out my, watch this, man in Mark's gospel chapter number 9, he said, I believe, but help my unbelief. What a crazy statement. I believe, but help my unbelief. What? Are we bipolar? What do you mean? I'm saying I believe God, but this is still a little difficult. I believe him, but some of it I'm still trying to work through. And when you're in that place in your development with the Father, you don't need a whole lot of outside voices because you're already dealing with your own. God, I believe you, but I believe you, but see, those are times when it just needs to be you and Jesus. There are some places in your spiritual journey that are too narrow for anybody else to fit but you and God. Can't nobody else fit? Because you don't need anybody else's 5 cents in your quarter because you're trying yourself to get over what you don't believe. That's why in Mark chapter number 5, when Jesus learned that the 12-year-old daughter of the ruler of the synagogue had died, look at how he handled that situation. When he arrived and informed the crowd that she was simply asleep and not dead, they cracked up. They said, what's wrong with Jesus? Is he crazy? The girl is dead. Clearly the girl is dead. Look at her. They were laughing because they had no vision. People with no vision will always laugh at yours. But look at Jesus' response. He didn't waste time arguing with them. He simply put them out of the room while he performed the miracle. Why didn't you argue with them, Jesus? Why didn't you go on a head trip? Why didn't you tell him, look ahead, don't be laughing at me. I'm the Son of God. Why didn't he address them? Because it was going to take all of his focus, faith, and energy to perform the miracle. Stop giving your energy to people what you need to perform what God has called you to do. Why are you arguing with them? You need that energy to get the goal accomplished. Why are you trying to explain yourself? They don't care about you anyway. Why are you fussing with them? Even when God does what he's going to do for you, they're not going to celebrate. Why are you giving them your energy? Jesus said, I ain't even going to deal with y'all because I'm going to do this thing. Jesus put them out of the room. He didn't even allow them to watch. Right now. Come on, take me up. Yeah, the blessings. I'm claiming them. Yes. Hey. Come on and claim it. Yes. Come on, tell them I'm trying to get it.
can feel it. Can't you see him working on the outside? I can feel him moving on the inside. So come and enter in and cast your cares on him. He'll open up a window and pour you out a blessing. You see, the Lord steps in. He gives you everything you need. Healing, power, and victory. I said it's all up to you. Whatever you need to do, just trust him and believe, and then by faith you shall receive. I say